Never was in love with a cow. Sometimes cowboys milk a cow. Part of doing chores. You do need milk, and ain't no sense in buying it from the stores. But it never was my favorite task back on the old home place to draw that lactose calcium from that mean old white face. Yeah, that X-range cow that I had to milk, she always made it rough. Sometimes she'd stomp on my foot, and with her hip she'd knock me down on the floppy, juicy stuff. Many times I'd cuss and swear, sometimes shed a tear. When it was dried manure in her tail, she'd swat me in the ear. Now we kept it two before. We used to prop the door. We used a can of grain to lead her in. One day that cow stepped in the barn and trouble did begin. She rubbed me up against the wall, which wouldn't have been so bad, except for them nails digging in my pride, which made me awful mad. So I dropped the two-before and used my hand to crack her in the head. She crumpled in a heap. Good grief, she must be dead. What am I going to say to Pa? What am I going to do now? I went to fetch the butcher knife to butcher that old cow. His Pa always said, do the best you can with what you got in life. And I stopped for a long time at the whetstone to sharpen that old knife. Well, I got back in the barn and a cow was standing in the stall. And she was easy to milk, and she never again rubbed against the wall. Many times she'd shift her feet in that dried manure, getting ready to spill the milk bucket. Well, I guess she remembered we had a two before, and she didn't want to kick the bucket.